And the Oscar goes to me. That's right, I win. I win it all. No, I did not win it all. I don't think so. Anyways, what's happening, guys? Welcome to Film Junkee Live. It is Monday. It's the end of Monday, so don't worry. Monday's over with. You're done with Monday. What is happening? Hopefully you guys are doing good. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend for sure. So we got plenty to talk about today. And everything, of course. Hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Much appreciated to all you out there. And if you want to support the channel, of course, you got the members, you got Patreon, you got all that stuff. Every Monday, I do a Patreon post show. Kind of just talk about, hey, the show, was it good? Was it not? I don't know. So I post that every Monday and everything. And then, of course, I do, when it comes to Patreons, or patrons, I should say. I haven't been consistent with it, but I'm trying to get consistent with it. But executive producer JD McCrae, who of course helps support the channel, you are the executive producer for all the streams this week, and hopefully things get fully back to normal right there. So JD McCrae, you are the executive producer this week. Much appreciated, and like I said, if you want to become an executive producer, support the Patreon, and we'll do so. But yeah, still trying to get back to normal. Last week was kind of back to normal, but not fully. Not fully. We didn't do a DC Fanimated, and Block the Stream was on Saturday instead of Friday, so. Anyways, good times. All right, so there's the music, and all right, so here we go, guys. Who's out there? Go ahead and hit that. What's going on, Ryan? Good to see you. Evening, everyone. Last breath was white knuckling. I've never touched my popcorn the whole 2 hours. Yeah, it definitely does that to you. I was sitting there going like, my breath, my breath, my breath, my breath. Because, man, that dude, I mean, if you know the story, the dude was like without oxygen for 27 minutes. That is absolutely insane. It's crazy. Human beings. We're crazy creatures. We really are. Game City Savior, can we get some milestone movies in between Guns movies, since it's obvious he's not going to do anything with them because we about to go another 5 to 10 years without these characters in live action. Milestone movies, interesting idea. We got Jason McKenzie, ahoy ahoy, good to see you, buddy. Great to see you. We got Mr. Nobody. I really do like all the news from DC, especially about Superman, but what's the big deal with the boots? Can you do a Jerry impression? What is the deal with these boots? And especially Jerry Seinfeld, he's a diehard Superman fan. Kind of curious. Has anybody ever asked Jerry Seinfeld, who is a known Superman fan, if you watch Seinfeld, he always had a Seinfeld statue, and there was always Superman references. Has anybody ever asked Jerry how he felt about some of these movies that came out? What do you feel about Superman Returns? What do you feel about Smallville? What do you feel about Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, and even Zack Snyder's Justice League? And how is he feeling about the new Superman? That's interesting. You never hear about that. Nobody asked me about Superman. What are we doing? Come on. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. What's going on, Eric? And the Oscar goes to... Oh, man. The Oscar went to some people that didn't deserve it. That's for damn sure. All right. Ahoy, Mr. Shane. Oh, ahoy, everyone. I can't wait to see the picture of Superman's new boots for the Superman movie that all of us have been waiting for. There you go. And everybody's saying hi. And then, of course, we got Jaden McCrae right there. Like I said, he is the executive producer this week. Jacob and Nora deserve the sweeps. It's unfortunate. I was watching on Hulu, and the shit cut out right when Mikey was going to win. Isn't that crazy? So streaming is still dropping the ball, because I saw people posting about that. I saw people posting about this right here, was the fact that I think when it comes to these streaming platforms, certain streaming platforms, they have a designated time and how long that live event is supposed to be. I don't know. It's like you really can't do that. You shouldn't. They need to fix that. They really do. I don't know. It's interesting, but I saw a lot of people who were watching it on Hulu Live. It just cut out. I was at my mom's. We were watching it on cable, so got to watch the entire thing, so that was cool. What's going on, Lane? No earthquake in your area? You know what's funny? Wow. Okay, so this is what's funny. I was, last night, there was an earthquake in Southern California. It was a small one. I shit you not. It was, again, I just feel like we're in a simulation when stuff like this happens. I think the last time I told you guys that I felt like we were in a simulation was a couple of Fridays ago, obviously moving into the new place, and I needed to find a little dryer hookup, a gas adapter, because the two hoses weren't matching up. And when I walked into Home Depot and I walked to the aisle that had the washer and dryer appliance things, I walk up and immediately, as I'm walking up, there's an old couple that is asking for the exact same thing and holding up two of the exact two hoses that I had. So it was very crazy. I was like, what are the odds of me doing that? What are the odds of me scrolling through TikTok last night? Yes, I know I shouldn't be doing that, but sometimes you're just lying in bed and you're just scrolling through TikTok. It happens, okay? Whatever. But some dude's live stream came up who lives in LA, and right as I scrolled up and his, video or stream started on my phone, his apartment started to shake. And I went, what the heck? What is going on? What? And he was like, I think there was just an earthquake and blah, blah, blah. And then I go to Twitter, type in earthquake, and sure enough, I see that there was an earthquake in the LA area. Didn't reach me out here. I was kind of wondering, I'm going, am I going to start feeling this shake? I didn't feel a shake. It didn't quite reach me because it wasn't that strong. I think it was like a 4. It was like almost like a 4 or 3.7 or something like that. So it wasn't huge, but he was right on top of the epicenter. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, I didn't feel it where I was at. I'm telling you, we're in a simulation, I tell you. We're in our own simulations, each and every one of us. Yes, there you go. Thank you for supporting the channel. JD, much appreciated. We got Music Man right here. What is happening? I still recommend I'll have to catch that one. When it comes out, for sure. 50 months and continuing. Keep being the best. I thank you, Eric. And like I said, when it comes to getting, doing a vodka stream on a Saturday with members and Patreon people, I'll let you guys know when we're gonna do that. It's just, like I said, with the move and everything, it's just been a little bit hard for trying to figure out all of that. What's going on, Axel? Good to see you. You felt the earthquake? Crazy. And we got Jose right here. What up, Dave? What up, people? My worst nightmare happened last night. Emilia Perez won an Oscar, and I was on the toilet when the earthquake... It's hilarious. That is hilarious. I would never want to be on the toilet. You can actually... There's an old video of me in my place. In my old place. It was a few years ago. There's a video of me where I was posting a video. I was reacting to something, and you can actually get my live reaction of an earthquake happening. You could just, if you go on my Instagram, you can find it. I think I put it on the Junkee Film Instagram. And you could actually see me reacting as I was talking about, I forgot exactly what I was talking about, but all of a sudden you just go, oh my God. Like my apartment was shaking pretty good. So it was pretty funny, but yeah, you don't want to be on the shitter when an earthquake happens, especially if it's a bad one. You definitely don't want to be on the shitter. So I think, we'll talk about that. Yeah, that was just you farting, Jose. That was just you farting. That's all. You just, too much Taco Bell, right? Am I right? There you go. All right, guys. Again, make sure you guys like the stream, share the stream, do whatever with the stream. That sounded weird, I know. But I appreciate you guys clicking in, of course. Like I said, I had a good weekend. Still settling in the new place. Everything's good. Like I said, on Friday, I went to my buddy's 40th birthday. That was a lot of fun. Saw some people I hadn't seen in a bit and had a lot of fun with that. And then, of course, we did the Vodka stream on Saturday. That was fun. Although, I will say this, guys. Okay, so had a little funny moment. When it came, because obviously still getting used to the new house. I was drinking red wine on the vodka stream. That was what I chose to drink. And the vodka stream went 4.5 hours. So I was sipping that wine for a bit. And I did a little pre-gaming too. Don't think I didn't, because that's usually what I do when it comes to the vodka stream. Do a little pre-gaming. And so I might have had a little bit of vodka before that. So during the stream, it was fine. I didn't get super shit-faced. Obviously, I wasn't, I wasn't slurring big time. It was slurring a little bit. I don't know. So I get done with the stream. I go downstairs because I want, need to get some water. And got some water. I was going to get some water. And there is we need to put a little nightlight or something. And I think I have one. But at the bottom of the stair, it was dark. So I thought I was, okay, I'm good. I think I'm just going to hold on to the railing and make sure I get I misjudged the last step, and I completely ate shit. I smacked onto the floor. I went, whoop, and just smacked on the floor, which is like a tile floor. Didn't hurt myself. I'm good. Nothing. I didn't hurt myself, but it was just kind of funny because I just boom, boom, choom, and just hit the tile. And it was funny because my brother was actually gone, but he actually was home and in his room. And the next day, I told him about it. He goes, I thought I heard something. And I was like, yeah, that was me hitting the ground. It was hilarious. I just had a laugh. I went, okay, a little too much wine. And we needed some kind of light right here because it was too dark, misjudged, and just smacked on the ground. Good times. Good times right there. So that was what happened after the vodka stream on Saturday, if you guys were wondering. Good thing it wasn't, further up, and I just tumbled down the stairs. But, yeah. Anyways, good to see you, Braden Gay. Stephanie T is here too, so... nothing value. No, I didn't knock over anything or anything like that. I just misjudged, tried to grab the railing, turned around, and then just smacked on my left side. I just boop and just hit right there. So no bruises or nothing. It was a moment. It was funny. I just laughed to myself. We're good. Anyways, guys. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the tweets. Let's jump into some tweets right here. Let's see. Where am I at here? Let's see. All right, let's start because we got we got some stuff. Let's see. Where am I going to start? Oh, yeah, we'll start right here. We shall start right here when it comes to the tweets. I think that's what we'll start. Yeah, let's start right there. All right, so let's start with this right here because, come on. Again, how many times, it's so stupid. It's just dumb. It's just dumb because this keeps on happening. It's like when it comes to the DC fandom and every 6 or 7 weeks, it just feels like that the discourse of the DC fandom is talking about Batman killing, and that always just comes about for some reason, and there's always a discourse that shows up on there. But when it comes to the Star Wars fandom, there always seems to be every 6-7 months we hear that Kathleen Kennedy is going to be stepping down from Lucasfilm, and I talked about it because that was the news that happened last week. But I even thought, well, who knows if that's even going to be the case. And sure enough, there it is right there. Kathleen Kennedy says she's not retiring, but has been looking at an eventual succession plan for a new leader of Lucasfilm. We'll probably make an announcement months or a year out, and I have every intention of sticking around to help the person be successful. So, oops, got to turn that off. So there you go. She's not stepping down, but eventually she will. And eventually they got to find somebody who's going to take over. And she's going to be there to help that person out. Probably not going to be for a couple of years. But yeah, so anybody who is very excited about that, which I think, a lot of people have been kind of excited about it. We're kind of going like, all right, Kathleen, it's time to give it to Dave. Give it to Dave Filoni. Just give it to him, or Jon Favreau. But I think Dave Filoni is what everybody wants. And then, of course, there was a rumor, that, not a rumor, but people were talking about, there was reports of Kevin Feige taking over. Like if he were to leave the MCU, which eventually he's going to be stepping down. Who knows if it's going to be after Secret Wars? We're all kind of wondering about that. But if he were to step down from that and then take over Lucasfilm, that would be crazy. Because we know that Kevin Feige was supposed to be producing a Star Wars film, but who knows if that's actually going to happen? I don't know. Maybe he could do something with that, but honestly, I think they should have Dave Filoni. I think a lot of people just want him and not somebody who was handling a previous universe that has kind of been not doing all that great. But hey, we'll see what happens. What's going on for you, Jason? Yes, Stephanie T. On the vodka stream, I got a little too tipsy. And it was a little too dark when I went down those stairs. Should I show this now? Yeah, let's just show this now. Why not? It's fun. So obviously we got the Lantern's first look of Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre. And somebody, obviously this is what I love about the internet. I love that the internet will take like an image and then just add things to it, because that's what you could do nowadays when it comes to the internet and people who are talented enough to work Photoshop or whatever they use. But yes, we know the first image, of course, that shows Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler walking down the road, and a lot of people were going like, why wasn't the first look of them in their costumes? Well, Julian Bell right here said, well, how about this? Look at that. And we got those little Starro creatures all over the ground right there. That's pretty cool. You know what? You gotta, again, the internet always seems to win, right? They always seem to win. People just do that, and good job on Julian Bell. I mean, it looks ridiculous, but it also looks pretty badass. Like they're walking away from taking on all those little Starro guys. Yeah, not bad. Gotta like that. And then we got this Anaconda movie that's supposed to be coming out this Christmas, which, does it feel that... Remember when this Anaconda movie got announced? And if you guys aren't familiar with this new Anaconda movie, that's essentially a reboot of the franchise, because there was maybe three Anaconda movies. I think they did, or did they only do 2 Anaconda movies? I don't remember. I remember the first Anaconda movie, and I really loved the first Anaconda movie with Jon Voight, Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, Eric Stoltz. It was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, I think they did Anacondas. And I remember seeing that movie. I saw it in a drive-in, actually. But was there a third one? I don't know. Who knows? I'm actually surprised. I'd be surprised. There was only 2. Okay. There was only 2. Thank you, Ryan. But, yeah, so it was Anaconda and Anacondas. And obviously, the Anacondas was very, very B-roll. But this one's supposed to be very meta. And, yeah, apparently they've already wrapped shooting. So we got this image right here. I think Jack Black posted. And obviously Paul Rudd's in it. And I think is this the director? I don't even know who this guy is, to be honest. But, hey, they posted this and said they wrapped production. So basically, it takes place in the real world that has the Anaconda movie. And they want to go out and, I don't know, they're doing something like that. We'll see what happens with it. But, hey, it's something. I like Paul Rudd. I like Jack Black. So I don't think we need a new Anaconda movie, but I like Paul Rudd. I like Jack Black. If they're going to be doing something that's very meta-like, then fine. I'll check it out. Why not? And then, yes, guys, we are very close. I don't know exactly when it's going to debut on Disney Plus, but Daredevil Born Again is going to be debuting the first 2 episodes, I believe. And of course, I'll be watching them tomorrow, and then I'll talk about them on Wednesday's show. But they're already beginning to film season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. And they added somebody that, people love. Matthew Lillard has been cast in Daredevil Born Again, according to Deadline. Now, of course, we don't know what character he's playing, but yeah, apparently he's going to be in the second season. And I think everybody can agree that, hey, there's nothing wrong with having Matthew Lillard. I mean, people like him, right? I like him. We all do. And then I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is pretty crazy, but it's also kind of funny too. I don't know. It was just one of those things where when I read this tweet right here and saw the initial thing that happened, and then you see the second line, and it's just it made me laugh. It made me laugh, and it has to do with Captain America: Brave New World. A movie theater ceiling collapsed in Washington during a showing of Captain America: Brave New World. Second line, no casualties or injuries reported, with only 2 people in attendance. Thankfully, nobody was injured. Thankfully, because you don't want that to happen. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's scary. You're watching a movie, that's some Final Destination type shit. In fact, I think the 4th Final Destination has to do with at the end when they go see a movie and things are about to freaking happen. Anyways, but it's just kind of funny because, it was like, all right, yeah, that's crazy. Thankfully, nobody was injured. But then they're like, yeah, because only 2 people are in attendance. And then looking at the box office of Brave... I'm trying not to... Yeah, let's not laugh. Let's not laugh. No, don't laugh at that. Don't laugh at that. We're good. I don't know. It's hilarious. But, Oh, man. And then, of course, the Gene Hackman stuff is still very much up in the air. I don't even really want to talk about all this, everything. But, there's been a lot of things. But one of the biggest things when it comes to Gene Hackman, and this was actually reported on, reported a few days ago, but this is part of the tweets right here. But right here it said the sheriff also stated that Gene Hackman's pacemaker recorded its last event on February 17th, meaning that it is assumed that was the actor's last day of life. Toxology and autopsy, of course, they're saying that we don't know like if there was anything ingested. Obviously there was pills that were found next to her, but they said negative on carbon monoxide poisoning, which is crazy. This whole Gene Hackman thing it's just so weird. It's just so very weird. No forced entry, no anything. Obviously one of the dogs died because it was in the kennel. But the fact of the matter is, it seems like Gene Hackman passed away like 9 or 10 days prior to when it was actually reported. So, and who knows? Things are still coming out. It's very weird, very crazy. So, pacemaker, yeah. So his pacemaker gave out on the 17th. It's pretty nuts, man. Pretty crazy. All right, what else we got to talk about? Scroll. Talk about that. Just scrolling through. Yeah, no need to talk about it. Yeah, we'll be talking about that. Yeah, and then, of course, all the Oscar stuff that I posted. Here's a picture of me and Momma Film Junkee that we took. So there's me and Momma Film Junkee right there. She was like, let's take a picture. I was like, okay. And naturally, I can't take a serious picture, so I just widened my eyes, chilling, and she made dinner, which she, always good stuff. She made some pork, and it was delicious, so there we were right there. And let's see, and then, of course, I just had a bunch of tweets about the Academy Awards. yesterday. And then we got this right here. We got George Miller, and then it's like fingers, toes, eyes, balls, anything that you could cross because, well, I mean, he had the first Mad Max trilogy, and then we had Fury Road, and then we had Furiosa, prequel, but hey, we also want to see a sequel, which is probably not going to happen, but, you know, he is saying this. George Miller says he will make the next Mad Max film if the stars align. Script is done. Takes place 1 year before Fury Road, so this is also a prequel. Has at least one film he'd make before it. He ain't getting any younger, George Miller. So I just don't get okay, I thought he had The Wasteland. I don't know if this is The Wasteland movie. I don't know. It's all very weird because it's just like it takes place 1 year before Fury Road, but I'm like going, is that report? I didn't look at the full-on report. I should have did my due diligence, but I'm just going, are you sure it wasn't 1 year after? It just seems like it's interesting that it's 1 year before, so it'd be like another prequel. I don't know. So basically, essentially, it should have been a Furiosa, then this movie in the middle, and then Fury Road would technically be the third one. So I don't know. He's telling stories in all different kinds of ways. It's just interesting. So I don't know. I thought the title would have been. It was supposed to be like Mad Max Wasteland. I thought that was always because my ex had a friend who lived in Vegas who would actually go. There's like a thing in Vegas, like once a year, they do this whole thing in Vegas where they go out into the desert and camp, but it's basically a Mad Max camp. So you go out there and they have dune buggies, they have all this kind of stuff, and it's all decked out like they're in, like it's like it's apocalyptic, and it's like the Mad Max world, and everybody has costumes and all this kind of stuff. It's really cool. Like I saw videos and everything, and they do all this stuff, and they just go out there for like a weekend and have like a good time in Vegas. I think it's called Wasteland. I'm pretty sure that's what they call it. And of course, naturally, they're always on top of what is happening when it comes to Mad Max. And I think Wasteland is supposedly what it was supposed to be called. I don't know. I don't know. But that's what I thought was supposed to be the next one. But now, you know, when they're saying like, oh, it's going to be a prequel to the Fury Road a year before, who knows? It's probably not going to be made because sadly Furiosa did not make a lot at the box office, even though I thought it was a good prequel. I thought it was a good movie. I don't know. Oh, we got some beautiful art right here from John Regan again, and he decided to pay an homage when it came to a certain cover of, well, Dan Mora's World's Finest cover. And of course, you know, there is a mystery James Gunn project that he talked about when it came to the DC press event that no one knows about. And a lot of people are going, what if it is a World's Finest? And there actually has been some people who hear things, scoopy stuff that they're saying like that possibly it could be a World's Finest and everything. So when it came to John Regan right here, he made this cover and it's pretty awesome. And it has to do with Brandon Sklenar as Batman. That's pretty sweet right there. There it is. So he's got Brandon Sklenar as Bruce Wayne. And we got David Corenswet, Clark Kent, wearing the hat, wearing the trench coat. And then, of course, we have them split right here. And this looks really good. And if you're wondering what he was referencing, that's it right there. That's it right there. Very well done. Very well done. That is so freaking cool right there. Just great art. This is what I love. I love seeing this kind of stuff. And I like his designs. And I like his design of his Batman right there. Just looks really, really, really cool. Yes. I'm just saying. Hire this guy, Jimmy Guns. Hire him to make your posters because Why not do homages? Why not do homages? Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that looks really cool. Ooh, and then of course, during the Oscars last night, we had a little more of a glimpse of Alien Earth. That was part of like a montage, because obviously it was on Hulu. This is going to be on Hulu. And so a little snippet was released online when it came to Alien Earth. And pay attention when you listen to this 7-second little snippet right here.
When the monsters come, all you can do is scream.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Maybe you didn't. Well, let's kind of go through some of the footage right here. Now, we see, of course, these. This is very much looking like the first Alien, or even Aliens, when it comes to the hyper, the hyper whatever chambers that they sleep in, the hyper sleep. And then, of course, we see them right here. We see some soldiers. We see some of the characters. I'm not sure what the hell is going on right here when it comes to this. Is that a stuffed animal? Maybe. Or is that an actual creature? I think it's that. But if you listen close, and then you've got some more soldier stuff. And then, of course, we have a look at a xenomorph right there. But if you listen closely, like right here, there's a clicking sound. A clicking sound. Let's do it again. I know you can't really hear it on here. When it comes to streaming. Maybe you can't really hear it that much right here, but there's like a little bit of a clicking sound. That sounds like a predator. What? Sounds like a predator. That whole thing. You hear that. You hear that in the promo. And it's going, what? Saw people online talking about it too. It's like, what? Wait a minute. And then I remember Fidel Alvarez obviously going to be doing the follow-up to Alien Romulus, and then when he was talking about doing an Alien versus Predator movie, that he said he would not, if he was going to do an Alien versus Predator movie, that he would want to just be like, oh no, it's an Alien movie, and then it would be a surprise that Predator was in it, or vice versa. Is that what this is? Are they like, was he hinting at the fact that it's like, oh yeah, this is an Alien series, but guess what? There's actually going to be some Predators in there too? I don't know. Very crazy. Very crazy. That would be interesting. I don't know. God. Oh, Captain America Brave New World. I tell you, I'm still 100% going, yeah, they did not know what they wanted to do with this movie, and they were just kind of going, okay, well, we can have the Serpent Society, that could be part of it, and blah, 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 and we could establish that, even though they cut out a lot of that, apparently. They cut out other characters, and they leaned heavily into the Hulk villains without even having the Hulk in it, or even any reference to Bruce Banner, which is interesting. It's like we're going to have a Red Hulk, and we're going to have the leader, and they apparently released a full-on image of the leader, and it's just a horrible design. That's just not a good design. It really isn't. Just have him have a big head as opposed to having his brain like spilling out of his skull and then looking all like that, and then his eyes looking all crazy like he's high off of some kind of gamma radiated fucking weed or something like that. My God, it's just, I don't know. You just look at that. It's just, it's I don't know. It's not a good design. Just not. Especially when we got that tease design where he was just going to have like the big head with hair on it still. And I don't know. It's just not that great. I prefer the leader look we got in the movie over the goofy concept art. Okay. I don't know. I look at that and I just go, I don't know. I didn't really like that design all that much, but hey, that's just me. That's just me. All right, let's go ahead and get started on these topics right here. Oh, let's talk about some DC news. Now, so obviously, I mean, we talked about the Lantern's first look. We've talked about Superman boots because obviously that was released Thursday, Friday, and all that. And then, of course, talking about it on the Vodka stream that was on Saturday. And so I just kind of, there wasn't much else when it came to DCU news in between Saturday to now. But I did want to cover a couple of things when it came to this. I mean, obviously we're going to be talking about, because I did, when I talked about that first image of Lanterns, obviously I was just mainly just talking about the polar opposite of their looks, of Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart's look. You could see the polar opposite. You could see that Hal Jordan's gone through some shit, and then you're looking at the Soldier Boy, who is very much clean, everything. He just looks like he's a soldier in civilian clothing. Hal looks like he just, whatever he's wearing is not his clothing. But we'll get to all that in a little bit. But other things that we can put to rest that were debunked. One of the things that was debunked when it came to the DCU and when it came to the Clayface movie was there was a scoop out there. There was some kind of scoop out there that said that Daniel Radcliffe, that's right, Harry Potter himself, was in the running, was being talked to when it came to playing Baz in, for Clayface right here. And of course, thankfully, James Gunn decided to take to social media and totally debunk it right there. As we confirmed the other, as we confirmed the other deal, we're closing a deal with James to direct, and that's James Watkins, who is not officially on board yet because we don't have a director yet. We haven't even started the casting process. Daniel is great, but we certainly haven't talked to or considered him. So this one is 100% false. And I love it because I know who posted that scoop right there. And anytime that guy gets debunked, oh yeah, it damages his ego because he has a very big ego for some fucking reason that I don't even know. And we know that's Jeff Snyder, and he just has this really big ego when it comes to all this stuff. But, whatever. Very sensitive when it comes to all this. But, hey, it's part of the game, man. Maybe that's why he's just lost all his hair. Anyways, so that got debunked, which is kind of cool because there was somebody else that handles Nexus Point News that even I said that, hey, there's no, Mr. Watkins has not been officially signed on yet. They're still working out that deal, so don't expect casting anytime soon. That guy was right. That guy had the scoop correct right there, at least. Well, not scoop, but he just knew the information, which is great. That's why I'll trust that guy a little bit more. So that's out of the question when it comes to that. And then another thing, and I put this guy, you could see him right over here. And if anybody was wondering who this guy, good-looking chap, but I think we kind of talked about it on the Vox stream. But I mean, obviously, that Superman just needs good marketing. Marketing is always key, and they did say something about that they are trying to approach the marketing like they approached the Barbie marketing and trying to establish. I don't know what exactly that means of how they're doing it, but the NBA promo was pretty good. Some of the stuff's been pretty good, but yes, 100% according to the Wrap, seasoned marketing veteran Ricky Strauss has been tapped to consult for DC Studios on Superman. It is Strauss's first project since leaving his post as Apple TV Plus's head of marketing last year, having previously worked on Disney on several Star Wars, Marvel, and animated projects. Pretty good get right there. That's a pretty good get. He did like Force Awakens. He did, I forgot, was it Madness? Was it Multiverse of Madness? I don't know. But seems like somebody who you'd want on your side when you're trying to promote something that, a lot of people are looking forward to and that needs to be a hit. So you got that guy right there for marketing. Good. Cool. Sweet. And then, of course, James Gunn posted about Gene Hackman. And then there's this right here, which this is pretty disappointing right here, which a lot of DC fans and a lot of collectors of McFarlane's are not going to be happy with this one right here. According to the LA Times, Mattel has won back the highly coveted toy rights for DC characters after having lost them in 2018 to rivals Spin Master and McFarlane. The deal comes in effect starting in the second half of 2026. Yeah. Mattel, have you seen their figures? Have you seen their figurines? They're not McFarlane quality. Not at all. So halfway through 2026, no more DC McFarlanes? I don't know. That just seems a little weird to me. But yeah, that's just not. I don't know. Mattel. I remember just looking at some of their toy lines that they've had in the past, and it just does not measure up to McFarlane's. Ooh, so that's just not great. That's really not that great at all. Ugh. But hey, I guess what can you do? My God. And we have another actor who actually auditioned for Superman that we didn't know of when it came to, obviously there was a lot of actors that auditioned for the role. I'm sure they saw hundreds and hundreds of actors, but one you actually might know, and he was in, of course, Gen V when it came to The Boys, and that, well, he has a very, famous father, I guess. Somewhat famous father, and that is, of course, I'm its son. Come on, he could be Superman. Let's do this. That's right. Patrick Schwarzenegger actually auditioned for Superman. And here he is right here with Josh Horowitz on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast talking about it.
By the nature of the world we live in the last 10, 15 years and your age and kind of like your appearance, I would imagine, have you done more than your share of superhero auditions in your career?
No, I haven't. I've only auditioned for, I think, like 2 superheroes. I think it was literally like Homelander, and then I think it was Golden Boy, and I think I was self-tape, because this was like right after it's been weird. The industry has been like, I have
it's all tape now, right?
I have an in-person audition next week, and that's like
something happening in the stream. What's going on? I see people in the chat saying, what is happening? What's happening? Uh-oh, stream. Is the stream acting crappy? Let's see. Hold on. Hopefully the stream... Uh-oh. Is it pixelating? What's happening? Up. Are we good? Let me know. Freezing up? What's going on? The clip caused a lag. We're back again. Phew. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. All right. Just making sure. Jeez, we're good now. I guess the clip just like caused it to go crazy. Anyways, carry on.
One of the first ones I've had since COVID. Like the only other one that I've done an in-person one for was with Ryan Murphy for Tim Tebow for American Sports Story. That was in person with him and the producers and casting and everything like that. And then I did one other one for the Idea of You movie. Was an in-person. That's it. Everything else now is Zoom. It's really weird, and you do. That's
crazy. It's like, I mean, that's a weird kind of skill in and of itself. But it also, yes, some of it translates, but some of it can't possibly translate.
It can't. It would be like this, and what happens is right now when I'm on Zoom with you, I have like you're over here and I'm over here.
Right.
But you do it where it's just, I'm not technical, so it's just one person on the screen, and when they talk, they're on it, and then you talk, and it switches to you.
Right.
So it's really weird doing a scene with someone because sometimes they'll be mid-talk and you say something and it'll switch to you, and then it's like, it's really distracting and weird.
It's really weird. That is weird. I mean, obviously COVID just like changed things, but I know what he's talking about because sometimes I've done a press junket, like especially during COVID through Zoom, and it is weird because it's all about whoever's setting up the Zoom. They have to have it in a certain way. So yeah, if you're just like full screen and you're seeing yourself, you're seeing them, and it jumps back and forth as opposed to just having the multiple windows, that could be a little jarring right there. But you know what? Hey, I don't see him as Superman. Don't see him as Superman. I mean, maybe he could have added something to it. But I mean, honestly, if they were going to do a young Hal Jordan, I actually can see him as a young Hal Jordan. But, you know, he does have a superhero look to him. I mean, obviously being in in Gen V, and the fact that he is, the son of arguably the biggest ever action star. I mean, he probably could get something, but who knows if that's going to be the case. Maybe he'll be another character in the DC universe that maybe Jimmy Guns can find something for him. Who knows? I don't know. Make him be Mr. Freeze and Matt. Okay, no. That'd be crazy. Can you imagine that? Cast him as Mr. Freeze after his dad, and all the Mr. Freeze cold puns. Yeah, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? No, that wouldn't happen. All right, so there you go when it comes to all that. So now, Dave, you get a chance to look at my wall. Not yet. Trav, I know you sent that to me. Like I said, just been busy and everything, so I'll check that out. Travis, good to see you in the chat. I will check that out. Thank you for sending that to me and everything. So, but I'll definitely get to it. All right, so let's talk about some of these. Let's talk about some of the attire when it comes to the DCU. And obviously, we're going to be talking about a ring, and we're going to be talking about boots. That's right. We're going to be talking about superhero attire for the DCU when it comes to a little accessory, and then we got some boots. And I wanted to just briefly, talk about the ring, the Green Lantern ring, which of course we saw that first look of Hal and John Stewart walking, and the first thing that a lot of people zoomed in on was the fact that Hal is wearing the Green Lantern ring. John Stewart is not wearing his, and of course I gave my little spiel on the Vodka stream, basically talking about how, well, I mean, obviously, Hal looks very haggard. He looks very haggard when it comes to, when it comes to all that. And of course, if you guys, let me pull up that image again, just to, let's see, where's that image again? I didn't have the full image. Let me pull that image up again. Where's it at? There. Oh, yeah, there's that one right there. But of course, here's the image right here. So obviously, we got Hal. His hair's a mess. He's stubbly. His jacket doesn't fit. It looks dirty. It looks like he lifted that off somebody. And of course, you had fans, quote unquote fans, complaining that they didn't even get his bomber jacket right. But I'm going, that's not even his bomber jacket. Shut up. And then of course, John looking just very clean and very proper when it comes to his civilian clothes. And then of course you have the ring right there, and then we got a close-up of the ring. And a lot of people were actually also complaining about this too. That's right, because again, we're in 2025, and fans, quote-unquote fans, want to complain about everything, and we have his ring right there, which, you almost can't, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, it's got like, it almost looks like it might be gold, and the green is, obviously at the main part of the ring, and then it's just when you're looking at the logo, you're just kind of going, okay. I think the ring looks fine. I don't know. I think the ring looks fine, but then you compare it, you're going to be comparing it to other rings, and then a lot of people are actually comparing it to Guy Gardner's ring when it came to the Superman trailer, and his ring is full-on green. It looks very much more of like, oh yeah, his ring kind of just, you could really see the symbol. You could really see a lot more stuff like that. Okay, cool. And then, of course, people were even comparing it to Ryan Reynolds' 2011 ring, and he posted it right there. That one has a little bit of silver to it, but you can actually full-on see the logo when it comes to his ring. But I'm just kind of going like, okay, we're going to nitpick the ring, and I'm just kind of going, well, wait a minute, we got this Hal Jordan that's going to, I mean, the rings, they're not all supposed to look alike, right? They're supposed to be different, or even if that's not I think the reason why I like his ring, because it actually fits the fact that this is an older Hal Jordan, so obviously the rings are not going to be the same design, and why would there be? And I happen to really like that design of a ring where, yeah, it's not like 100% looks like, hey, you could have the full-on logo and everything is going on right there. It actually looks like nobody would go question that ring. And I don't know. I kind of like the style. Almost vintage looking. I don't know. But yeah. It looks pretty good. Apparently in the comics, the rings can look different from each other. Yeah. So, I mean, like, again, we got people that are nitpicking. Again, the ring doesn't even look like, come on. That ring looks good. That ring is stylish. It fits this old man, Hal Jordan, who's a little bit haggard. It has a little retro feel to it as well. So I like his ring. I'm just saying. And then, of course, when it comes to... And then naturally, when it came to James Gunn posting that a year ago that he snapped a picture when it came to Superman's boots. And we talked about it on the Vodka stream, naturally, of course. We talked about it on the Vodka stream. And, again, it's like, I'm wondering if when he was talking to Zach, and going back to when he met with Zach and talked to Zach, I mean, I'm sure like they had ideas going. I'm just kind of going, and maybe Zach was like, yeah, post some behind the scenes stuff, maybe. I don't know, more stuff about that. And I really hope that James Gunn does do this kind of, God knows how many pictures he has from the Superman shoot. And I hope he posts as many images that he can. Post them in black and white or post how they are, who knows, and whatever. But when it comes to the boots right here, it's, pretty standard. And, of course, you got the cape in there. It's a little out of focus, but the boots are mainly in focus in the snow. And naturally, we know that, where's that? Did I not? I didn't. I forgot to get that up. No, but. So we got the boots right here. And I keep on thinking, I keep on saying, and I even said this when I first saw the boots from that first image. Yeah, they kind of look like Captain Marvel's boots a little bit, the design. And we kind of know that I've said it before and I'll say it again, that they did bring up, they are kind of utilizing people who have worked on Marvel projects for this project. So that's why I think some of the costume designing has felt a little Marvel Studios-esque. Very true. But at the same time, I do like the fact that we did get a little bit more of the texture and we get a little bit more of the lining when it comes to that. I don't know. It's pretty cool. And of course, naturally, I saw fans, not really fans, but people that were complaining that, oh yeah, the snow looks fake. What's going on? I'm like, no, we know that they actually filmed. They actually went on location, which again, why are we nitpicking about stupid shit like that? I'm just saying the fact that they actually went to an actual location and just didn't shoot on a snowy, fake snow set when it came to all this, I think that's pretty cool. I don't know. And then I was just like thinking about some of the, we have this right here, Job Hutz. He made a pretty cool little poster. See right there, we got puppy paws and everything. And we got the boots. He did brighten it up a little bit, which makes it a little bit more plasticky. It looks like it's a figurine more than anything. And then naturally, of course, there was like memes out there. I saw one that was actually pretty funny. I didn't bring it up, but somebody actually they made one where like the underwear is on the ground. They like the Superman undies were actually lying in the snow, and I thought that was actually pretty funny. So I thought it was pretty funny. And then of course, I had a whole thing in my mentions where somebody was like, "Why does the promo images look like shit, and then people just make them look better?" I'm going, this was a behind the scenes shot. You're really complaining about a behind-the-scenes shot? And then, yes, nowadays, artists just do their thing. They put it in Photoshop, and they start redoing stuff, and they make a poster out of it. What is wrong with that? I think that's actually really cool. And it would be even more cool if, James Gunn, posted some of that stuff just to kind of keep building the hype and showing support to these online artists that are doing some really cool things, which I think he has maybe done before. But then it's kind of funny, too, because I was thinking about boots, and I was thinking about others' boots. I mean, let's face it, when it comes to Henry Cavill's boots, and this is just like a zoomed in on the display one, I mean, that texture right there looks very much more alien-like. Those boots don't look as comfortable. I mean, they look very tight and look like they're pretty stiff, and I'm kind of wondering how stiff they were. Maybe they weren't. Maybe Wilkinson actually put a lot of give when it came to the boots, but just like comparing it to these boots right here, these boots look like there's a little bit more comfortable. I don't know, but who knows? Who knows? Of course, like I was looking at all these boots, and then you got Brandon Routh's boots, which were very interesting. These look like the Rocketeers boots almost. I don't know. I was just looking at some of the other Superman boots right here. These ones look like the Rocketeer boots almost. You know, a little bit more vintage looking and everything. But, you know, you always have to have that dip. You always have to have that dip in the boots because that's like iconic to Superman's boots right there. So, but I mean, obviously when it came to Cavill's, that just, I don't know, it just really looked, I like the lines and the texture is what really makes that. But I don't know, boots probably are comfortable. Boots are fine. Just reminds me a little bit of Captain Marvel, just slightly, but I'm sure they're comfortable. And that's another thing. That's one of the things that I'm very much looking forward to hearing about when it comes to behind the scenes is how long did it take David Corenswet to get into the Superman costume? Apparently, according to Henry Cavill, it took him 20 minutes to get into his costume, which you wouldn't think it wouldn't take that long to get in a Superman costume because it's just, you know, it's Superman, it's all this, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of pieces. It's still very tight. You still have to do that. It still has very much that muscle lining that's in there, so you're trying to squeeze into that. You're zipping it up, and then you're, of course, putting the cape on. You put the boots on. I'm just kind of wondering how long does it take David Corenswet to get into this costume? Because, yeah, I mean, it's still tight-esque. It's not fully tight. There's some give to it. So I'm kind of curious about that, but I'm not saying that that's actually going to help the process. Because you look at Robert Pattinson's Batsuit, that's not as, you know, it doesn't look like it's as heavy and as crazy, but it still seems like it's going to be a little bit of a bitch to get into. So these boots are made for flying? I don't know. But there you go. And that's pretty much it when it comes to DCU news right there, guys. Boots and rings. That's right. That's the main topics when it comes to Film Junkee Live on Monday. Boots and rings. All right. Now let's get to everything that happened last night. Yeah. We had the Oscars, guys. That's right. The Oscars, 97th Oscars is now in the books. Can't believe, like, man, we're creeping up to 100. And like I said, I watched it last night with Momma Film Junkee. We always usually try to watch it together. I don't think we watched it together last year, though. But now that we live closer, I was like, hey, you want to watch the Oscars? And so I went over there. She made dinner. It was great. And we had a good time watching it. And the biggest thing for me when it came to watching the Oscars was the fact that Conan O'Brien was hosting. Jimmy Kimmel's fine. I think I've kind of just, I don't know, over the years, I'd kind of just go, he's not as funny as he once was. He's still funny, but not as funny. Conan O'Brien has always been consistently funny, consistently goofy. So I've always just liked Conan O'Brien. So I knew that his opening monologue and his jokes were going to be pretty good. And for the most part, they were pretty good. And here's him prepped up. Obviously, he knows how to play guitar. I was actually kind of disappointed that he didn't play any guitar during the hosting. I was hoping he was going to bust out the guitar, but he didn't. And then here's him right here, too, when they were rolling out the red carpet. He was helping out rolling out the red carpet, and then, of course, posed on top of the red carpet, which I thought was good. But his opening monologue was pretty funny. I liked his opening monologue. Thought it was funny. They did a little bit, of course, before he came out on stage that showed him basically, you know, him when it came to the substance coming out of Demi Moore's back. So that was pretty funny. My mom hadn't seen The Substance yet, and I'm like, oh yeah, like it gets pretty, it's pretty graphic. Like literally, yeah, her back like opens up. It's pretty crazy. And some of the other jokes, there was one joke in particular. I mean, first off, so they actually, the one joke that they used twice was the fact that they had one of Dune's sandworms. He was coming out and he was playing like the drums with chopsticks. And then they had the sandworm, of course, play the harp. So that was kind of funny.
You see, let me explain show business. When you spend that much on a bit, you got to do it twice.
That's what I like about Conan too. Self-deprecating. But I think the joke that everybody was actually talking about the most when it came to Conan and the Oscars, well, halfway through, he decided, well, I gotta got to throw out this joke right here. Definitely got to throw out this joke. And it was a joke about, Kendrick Lamar and good old Drake.
Well, we're halfway through the show, which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile. Don't worry, I'm lawyered up.
I mean, he went for it. He went for it, and I'm glad he did. Not only did he do that, but he also had jokes about Carla Citrone. I mean, Citrone, whatever her name is, obviously Amelia Perez, that whole controversy. Basically, like, talking about, like, hey, if you're going to tweet this about, my name is Jimmy Kimmel, and then, yeah, there was talking about, like, F-bombs when it came to Honora, and then said that was, like, her publicist and everything. So he had jokes while she was in the room. They actually showed her, too, which was actually pretty funny. So, some good jokes. He went for it. He didn't hold back when it came to certain jokes, which is good. I'm glad that he didn't. So, that was good. He went for it. He went for the Drake joke, which I did not see that. I did not see that one coming. But yeah, let's talk about some of the winners. We'll go over some of these winners right here, and some of it a little disappointing, but whatever, it's fine. Sean Baker. Good job. I did not see Honora winning five, including Best Picture. Now, naturally, my choice for Best Picture, I didn't see all of them, sadly. I did not see all of them, but, I would have chose Dune Part 2. That was my favorite movie last year, and sadly, Dune Part 2 only won 2 Oscars, Best Sound and Visual Effects, or did it not win Visual Effects? I know it was Best Sound. What did it, let's see, editing was Nora also, cinematography, okay, yeah, it was Best Sound and Best in Visual Effects, yeah. So sound and visual effects, and then of course I'm thinking Amelia Perez won 2 Academy Awards as well. So Dune Part 2 and Amelia Perez had the same number of Academy Awards, although Amelia Perez was the most nominated movie of the whole bunch. So yeah, okay, we don't have to talk about Amelia Perez anymore after today. After today, Amelia Perez, that movie just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it's just crazy how that movie got so many awards. And then, of course, Zoe Saldana won Best Supporting Actress. And I was just kind of like, well, there it is. I mean, she won all the other awards, so naturally she was going to win this one. I mean, if I had to say anything good about Amelia Perez, yeah, she does give the best performance out of the 3 leads, for sure. But there's still moments where her accent is weird, and some of the singing and dancing, and including the song that won Best Song. The one that won Best Song, which was Amelia Perez, which was her in like a restaurant wearing like a red suit, and she's kind of almost rapping a little bit and doing like this like weird. My mom hadn't seen Amelia Perez yet. When she saw the clip of her doing that, I went, yeah, she was going, what the hell is actually happening here? I'm like, yeah, it's Amelia Perez. Don't even watch it. Don't waste your time. It's very cringy, and it's very going, your mouth is like open going, really? Really? We're really going to be doing this? But hey, congratulations to Zoe Saldana. Hey, she won the award. Good on her. She's obviously been part of the biggest movies ever made, both Avatar movies and Avengers Endgame. So, now she has an Academy Award. I think she's done very well for herself. So congratulations to her. But yeah, Nora taking the Best Picture. I thought The Brutalist was actually going to win. I thought that was going to be the one. I thought that was going to be the Oscar darling. I mean, obviously Adrian Brody, he won Best Actor, and of course his acceptance speech apparently was one of the longest acceptance speeches ever. I think the longest. Because, this is not the first time he's won an award. He actually won for The Pianist. That's right. You have Adrian Brody, who won for The Pianist and The Brutalist. That's right. So basically, if Adrian Brody is going to be in a movie that has ist as part of the title, he might win. There's a little theme right there going on with Adrian Brody. But, hey, congratulations to Adrian Brody. I mean, that's right. The star of Predators is now a second-time Academy Award winner. That's right. That badass right there in Predators, directed by Robert Rodriguez, which is a great sequel, and everybody should watch it. And he got all jacked and ripped. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta love that. And then, I guess you could say the biggest upset, I think the biggest upset of the night was the fact that Demi Moore did not win for Best Actress. That's right. Of course, Mikey Madsen, she won, which, it was down to those two. It was down to those two because she started winning some of the awards too. I think she won like Critics' Choice or whatever. Maybe she won I don't know. But it was going to be down to those two, but it seemed like Demi Moore was going to be the one and the shoe-in for it. And Mikey Madsen won it, which I'm like, good on her, which is crazy because, the only two other movies that she's really known for doing was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then, of course, Scream 5. And she was actually one of the ghost-faced people, which is funny because it's like, oh, yeah, now we have a Ghostface who is now an Academy Award winner. So good on her. Like I said, I enjoyed Anora. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a great movie. And congratulations to Sean Baker, who won for editing, writing, and did he win for? He won for director as well. Yes. So Sean Baker actually set a record, which good on him, because the biggest thing that I think the takeaway for Anora walking away with 5 Academy Awards, and I loved what Sean Baker had to say when he talked about, hey, movies, it's all about going to the movie theater to watch movies. He really expressed that. He put that out there. And then the fact that Anora was an independent film. It's an independent film. So, I mean, let's face it, in the past few years, especially with horror and stuff like that, and A24 and Neon, these small companies have really they've really been like, hey, people want to see, they just want to hear stories and original stories and stories that don't cost a fucking, $500 million to make. They want to see these small stories and want to have these talented filmmakers and storytellers to tell these stories. So that is a big win for independent filmmaking. It is a big win for that. Regardless of how you feel about the movie or anything, it is a big win for independent filmmaking, which I thought, awesome, great, fantastic. And but yeah, I think in my opinion, if I had to pick Demi Moore or Mikey Madsen, I would have picked Demi Moore. I think she gave a better performance, and then she had to put all the makeup on and, all that stuff. But then it's kind of funny too, because how meta is this win, this Best Actress win, when you look at those two? How meta is that? If you think about it, guys. How meta? Because you have the veteran actress who's like in her 60s, and then you have the young up-and-comer who wins it, who takes the award. It's so meta. It's kind of meta. It's like, oh, shit. That was just what I was thinking about. I was like, oh, fuck, that is pretty damn meta right there. But, like I said, it's all good. It's all good. And then, of course, other things. Let's see, Kieran Culkin. I still have to watch A Real Pain. I know it's on Hulu. Apparently, that's just getting all kinds of praise. And he's just, he pretty much swept the award season. And Conclave won a Best Adapted. Flow. I thought The Wild Robot was actually going to win Best Animated Feature, but The Wild Robot, I thought, because I kept hearing great things about it, but Flow apparently was better. And yeah, Best Editing. This is what I love about Sean Baker. Sean Baker wrote, edited, directed, produced. So that's what's really cool. Again, independent filmmaking. And then I was kind of disappointed, even though I haven't seen The Brutalist yet, but I've seen shots. I'm sure, yeah, the cinematography looks absolutely gorgeous on there. But of course, naturally, I'm going, hey, Greg Fraser. I was rooting for him, of course. And then, of course, Best Score, I was disappointed because I forgot that Hans Zimmer didn't get freaking nominated, because there's like the whole reason is because the score wasn't changed enough from the first Dune movie into the second one, so he was disqualified, which is dumb. Wicked, of course. I think Wicked only walked away with what? Production design and like a song. I don't know. Like 2 Oscars as well, or did it only? Oh yeah, no, makeup. Substance won makeup, which was good. Yeah, I think Wicked only walked away with 1, right? It only walked away with 1 Academy Award. Crazy. So, yeah, that was dumb. The reason why they didn't nominate Hans Zimmer. It's just really dumb. That's just really stupid. I wanted to bring up one thing right here. I'm going to have to bring this up because it was just so weird. And I saw it earlier and I was like, okay, I got to comment about this. Right here. Ariana Grande. Now, Ariana Grande, I've said it many times where I'm just kind of going like, man, this is somebody who was basically born and raised through the Hollywood machine. I mean, she came up in the Nickelodeon kind of things, and she was very much a part of, when you saw that documentary and some of the nasty things that were brought up in that documentary, she was very much a part of all of that. But of course, she wasn't a part of that documentary, but you better believe that there's probably some crazy things that happen right there. But I've always said, like, I mean, she's a super talented. I mean, her opening in the Oscars, she's very talented when it comes to her singing voice, and even when she's been on Saturday Night Live and everything, and her comedic timing and her impressions, very great. But to me, I'm just kind of going, she's almost just like a programmed robot. We have this interview right here from Variety, and it's very odd. So check this out.
Let's talk about music. You told me you're not going on tour anytime soon. Eternal Sunshine, you've said the deluxe edition is in the can. What's the next step? What do we got?
The next step is the next step. It means it must come out.
That makes sense.
You know, it's been...
Do you have a release date?
You know what? They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic, they do the memory erasure, you know?
She went somewhere to get her memory erased? Huh?
What?
The memory erasure. They erased my memories. It's a little foggy, but...
If you could remember, struggle, tell me. Give me a date.
You know what? I'll have to go back to the clinic and see if they can restore my memory.
Is it going to be soon? Because the fans want to know, Ariana.
So soon? So, Mark, you have to learn the language of my fans, because soon means 10 days or less. I'm not allowed to use that word at this moment.
So it's not less than 10 days?
I'm not going to use that word today. I'll say that. I love you. You're so naughty. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah, let's change the subject. Oh, my God.
So just give me a date. Give me a date. I won't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone.
You know, just keep your eyes peeled.
To you.
How awkward was that exchange right there? And then I'm just kind of going like, well, maybe she's just fucking with him? I don't know. But again, it's Ariana Grande. She's constantly always performing. It was just so freaking weird. And I'm going to bring up this old video that I saw. I bookmarked it. And I was like, perfect time to bring up this old video right here of Ariana Grande. Because again, it just seems like somebody, like she's not even real. Like it's just always performative. And she's not the same Ariana Grande as she was a few years ago. This is a different version. I mean, even like her skin complexion, she's smaller and her voice is different. So watch this right here. This is her now.
You are a Capricorn and like to follow the world of astrology, yes?
I know people love that. People love that.
That's her
why
then.
People don't like my shows.
When we get to our hotel rooms, do you have any weird habits?
Come together and share stories and hang out and
Almost
What is
not
the
even the
longest
same girl.
you've binge watched something in a day?
don't remember it. Like it was such a blur. I think because of like emotions and then also like champagne.
Would you say you are a woman who demands RESPECT?
Right? I see Tommy shaking his head in the corner, so I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Do you think the moon landing was fake?
I don't remember that moment. I was trying to ask Victoria earlier. I was like, when did we like, when did this happen?
What the fuck, man? This is weird. But again, I'm just like, well, her whole world is just performing. She is 100% not who she was before. She is a different person now. That's like two different people talking right there. The inflection in her voice, everything about that was just so weird. That's why I can't stand her. Like, yeah, you're super talented and everything like that. Either you are not, or you've been replaced by a robot or a clone, or it's just all performative, and it's just like, oh, let me just change it, and I'm just gonna, what am I supposed to do now? I gotta be like this and be all happy, and I don't know. This is some weird shit. This is some weird shit right here. Ugh. Yeah. So I saved that video. I had that video. I was like, I saw that on my feed. I went, I'm going to have to bring that up. And sure enough, after seeing that awkward interview with Variety on the red carpet, I was going, this is a perfect time when she's talking about, oh, I was at the clinic and I got a memory erasure. Now, she could just been fucking with the guy, but it was just very weird. It was just all weird, but there you go. Hollywood. Yeah, you never know, man. Aliens are among us. Robots, clones, who knows? Moving along, yeah. I think that's it when it comes to Oscars. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about with Oscars? I don't think so. That was pretty much it. Yeah. You don't need... Like, overall, like I said, I enjoyed the show. Like I said, Conan did an excellent job. And congratulations to Sean Baker and Mikey Madsen. Like I said, that wasn't my choice for everything, but I still enjoyed Anora. Thankfully, I actually did. I didn't watch all the damn movies, but thankfully I did watch that one. And I enjoyed it, even though I thought I didn't enjoy it as much as I was hoping to. But, you know, that happens. All right, let's go to the box office and see what's happening at the box office. I mean, obviously, there wasn't any big movies that came out this past weekend. Last Breath, you guys saw my first reaction. Talked about it briefly on the Vodka stream, which I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was shot well. And like I said, for the story about this, deep sea diver dude who was without oxygen for 27 minutes. I mean, it's a pretty crazy story. And they did a good job of making you go, oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack watching this. But naturally, Captain America Brave New World, still number one. I don't think that's going to happen this weekend because we do have Mickey 17 finally coming out this weekend, which I'm very much looking forward to. But yes, Captain America Brave New World currently sits at $341.9 million worldwide. Does it make it to 400? Does it make it? Is it going to make it to 400, guys? I don't know. I think it's going to hit Disney Plus before it even gets to 380. I don't think it's going to make it to 400, but, Last Breath made 8.3. Not sure how much that budget was. Small movie. That'll be on streaming very soon. And then, of course, The Monkey, which I really, really enjoyed. $31.3 million. And I think I heard that this budget was about 20 million? Something, 20, 21 million, maybe less, 11 million? I don't know. It was not that expensive. And it's already past that. So that's good. But yeah, Brave New World is now going to be, it won't be number one this week. And I think Mickey 17 will do fairly decent. I hope it does better than, I just hope it does. I hope it does something. Because I've been really looking forward to Mickey 17. So hopefully it does. It does pretty well. But we'll see. I know. I hope it doesn't flop. I really hope it doesn't flop. Yes. Hey, Wonder Meg's here. I know. Yeah, you're looking forward to that too. Finally, if you guys remember, like a few years ago, Wonder Meg and I live streamed watching a certain other Robert Pattinson movie that was a struggle for me, and she was happy about it. But hey, that was fun. That was still fun. Yeah, we watched Twilight. If you guys want to look at my channel, just look at that. You want to see me tortured by watching Twilight? Thank God for drinks. Anyways, but still very much looking forward to Mickey 17. Can't wait. Well, we'll talk about those reviews on Wednesday's show. And then, of course, we'll see that. Florence Pugh is your wife? All right, that's cool. I know, right? People are wondering, new moon? Are we going to do new moon? Oh, God, I don't know. I know, we should have already did that already, but... All right, let's talk about what's the next topic. I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going back into the comic book movie space right here. Is Avengers Doomsday delayed? Huh? Oh, is it delayed? Oh, no. Well, we all know that those leaked concept art, that came out, it was a flood of concept art that came out over the weekend when it came to Avengers Doomsday, and a lot of people were freaking out about it. A lot of people were just going, oh my God, this is going to be like the greatest comic book movie ever. And I'm kind of going, well, wait a minute. How many times have we seen a comic book movie's concept art come out after it, and you go, that wasn't in the movie. That wasn't in the movie. What the hell? Oh my God, that was supposed to be in the movie. I mean, the biggest one I just remember was when it came to Justice League and the fact that there was concept art of, well, what Steppenwolf's lair looked like, you know, when it came to Chernobyl and all that stuff, and it just kind of looked a lot cooler, a lot darker. And then, of course, there was Batman visiting the Parademon nest, which would have been really freaking awesome, ended up not being the movie because Warner Brothers said it was too scary. Fuck them, of course, always. Fuck, or at least those guys. But now... obviously, when it comes to Avengers Doomsday, we had that flood of whatever. And of course, the conspiracy theory was the fact that did they leak it on purpose just to gauge what people were talking about and build up some hype? I don't know. But then, of course, there's a new Scoopy report. And I'm bringing up Geek Tyrant right here that posted this that said, Marvel's Avengers Doomsday reportedly may be delayed so Marvel can figure out what characters will be involved. Yeah, you might want to figure that out before you start shooting. Now, the report does come from Jeff Snyder, which you guys know I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of at all. But at the same time, I'm not saying that he bats zero. He doesn't bat 1,000. He doesn't bat zero. Just like all these scoopers, they don't bat 1,000. They don't, even though they have the egos, they have so much of an ego that they'll make it seem like they bat 1,000 and that they're always right. But they're not. They're not. They're usually in the middle. It's usually just like almost pretty much like baseball, and they have like a 300, 400, not even, 300 average or something like that, maybe 400, maybe 5, I don't know. But so it came for that. But what was interesting, guys, is I saw on my feed, and even though the guy has me blocked, Rob Liefeld, of course, the creator of Deadpool, also quote tweeted this very article right here. That basically, or this very tweet right here, and said that he heard the same thing too. So Rob Liefeld, that's right, creator of Deadpool, actually said that he heard that this might be the case too, that it might be delayed. Now, Rob Liefeld has basically broken ties with Marvel because of how he was treated, apparently, when it came to Deadpool and Wolverine and everything. So he might just be like, well, I'm just going to say this because I'm going to be an asshole, because he kind of is an asshole. He is. But at the same time, I'm seeing other people going like, yeah, they're hearing about this kind of stuff too. So I'm just kind of wondering if now that they, maybe with the conspiracy that they did leak those images, and then they were gauging on like people's reactions, now they're kind of going like, well, shit, I guess we have to round up as many people as we can to make this kind of stuff happen. Because, I mean, there was a lot of characters in, obviously, that, and having it where it's like kind of like the battle war kind of aesthetic, and having, you're having Hulk, you're having She-Hulk, you're having a new T'Challa, you're having, of course, Doom, and then you're having Doctor Strange that's working with Doom, and then, of course, Doom, and then, of course, you have Fantastic Four, and you have Young Avengers, you have all this kind of stuff. I don't know, it's just kind of crazy, because I'm just kind of going like, Marvel Studios, you better nail this, because it's been a little rough. But then at the same time, we don't even know who is going to be leading the Avengers. The last thing that we got was Captain America Brave New World, where we have the leader who's locked up in that island prison telling Sam that, are you ready to take on people from other worlds? That was it, which we already knew that was actually going to be the case. It was a silly, stupid post-credit scene that you could tell was very half-assed and a very last-minute thing, but it just didn't add anything to it. They could have done something so much better when it came to that post-credit scene for Brave New World. as opposed to just having the leader saying, "Oh yeah, there's a multiverse out there. Are you ready?" You know, it was stupid. It was stupid. But if it gets delayed, it gets delayed. Hey, let it get delayed. If they have to delay it to make sure they give out a good product, then fine. But hopefully some of those, things that were in the concept art could actually be translated to the big screen. Who knows? I don't know. It just seems like, now that Doom's in there and then it's Robert Downey Jr., which I'm still not about. I don't know. Shang-Chi, I know. Fuck it. When is that going to be? I really enjoyed Shang-Chi. And they're just like, no, we're not going to do a sequel yet. It's like, why are you not going to do a sequel yet? It just seems ridiculous. Just seems ridiculous. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that's the new rumor that's out there that more than one person has reported. So, at least there's that. All right, guys, let's get to some Twitter questions right here. So a fanfic, yeah, it could be fan fiction. Who knows? Marvel can't afford more mistakes like Cap 4, especially when it comes to Avengers. Because even though like Age of Ultron, that's like the weakest of the Avengers movies, all 4 Avengers movies have been really strong. You can't fuck up an Avengers movie. You really can't. That's the pressure that they have. DC Studios has pressure with Superman. Marvel Studios has pressure with Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday. Especially Avengers Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday needs to be a huge hit. So does Fantastic Four, but not as much. So. All right, let's see what you guys are asking over here on Twitter. We got Eric. It's been said a million times, Dave, but a big reason for the Oscars' low ratings for the past several years has been the big split between nominated films and popular films. On that note, dare we hope Nolan's The Odyssey might end up a top contender next year? Oh, yeah. Well, it won't be next. It'll be 2027, right? Because that's not coming out till summer of 2026. So, yeah. So it'll be 2 years from now. And it definitely will be a contender, 100%. Mr. Nobody, I feel Superman and Green Lantern is in safe hands with Gunn just because of experience at Marvel and comic book knowledge. I think he'll do something like a modern Tim Burton Gothic Batman, but not sure if he'll stick the landing with Batman. That's a tough one, even for the best. Yeah, it's always going to be a tough one. Always going to be tough. Batman's always tough, but I don't think it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be super gothic, though. Seems like they're going to do a more fantastical, even though Tim Burton's Batman was somewhat fantastical. Cooper Knox, I can in the camp of Avengers Doomsday needs to be delayed because they are rushing this thing out of the gate. Yeah, like I said, if they have to hold back, by all means. Devin Wooter, hello Dave. You saw The Rock and John Cena will team up in WWE. That was crazy. Yeah, I did see that. But I'm not really big on wrestling. I watched The Lord of the Rings 1. That movie was cinema. What's your favorite scene from that movie? For me, it's Ian McKellen. Say you shall not pass. Oh man, that scene. Yeah. I mean, I've said it time and time again, was never big on those movies and the Harry Potter movies. I'm not big on the whole fantasy magic stuff. So I've seen those movies, but it was never like rewatch stuff for me, so I can't really pick out a scene. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, question 1. If we really do get a Batman and Superman World's Finest movie in the DCU, do you think it'll be in the middle of the first saga or close to the end? Nah, it would be probably closer to the first saga. Question 2, should every crazy cameo imaginable, Deadpool and Wolverine and the Fox X-Men, be saved for Avengers Secret Wars or be immediately brought in for Doomsday? Now, they should have different kind of cameos for a different kind of world for Doomsday, I think. And I think that's what the concept art was kind of showing, was like, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of people there, but it's going to be this kind of versions of them, which is fine. But when it comes to Secret Wars, yeah, I mean, I think like crazy cameos that we need, that we're going to probably see, should be saved for Secret Wars. And we got Dylan G. Honestly, Anora deserved Best Picture. If you ignore the sex worker stuff, it's a really good movie, and I'm glad Mikey Madsen won too. No, I mean, yeah, I know. It's always fun too because, I mean, when it comes to politics nowadays, obviously the diehard conservatives out there really hate that this movie got nominated for, or got that one Best Picture because it has to do with sex work. Even it's like, all right, well, watch the fucking movie, will ya? Can you watch the fucking movie before you act all fuddy-duddy as, you know, diehard conservators can't? I mean, how dare somebody be a sex worker? Oh my God, oh my God. You know, it's always that thing. Oh my God, cover the children's eyes and ears and, oh my God, you know, start raising up your Bible and start forgiving everybody. You know, it's like, relax a little bit there. You damn diehard conservatives. You watching Daredevil tomorrow night, Dave? Yeah, and I'll probably give my little first reaction in like a little a short. I'll record and give my first initial thoughts, but then I'll give my full-on thoughts, obviously on Wednesday's Film Junkee Live right there. Yeah, but Republicans fuck sex workers, so what the hell? Yeah, there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to that. Just like when you hear when these conservatives that fight the whole abortion thing, but then they've paid for abortions. You know, everybody's a hypocrite. Even in politics, that's what happens. I felt Lenora deserved it, but the substance was my second choice behind it, all honesty. Yeah, I mean, I just was all about Dune Part 2, but it was like Dune Part 2, the substance. I just wanted the substance to win because it was so, that final act was so goddamn batshit crazy. And it was like a horror movie. And the thing is, the Academy doesn't really like horror movies. That's why, I mean, you know, Margaret O'Malley didn't get nominated. But did you guys see? Oh yeah, let me bring that up. One more thing. Oh man, you want to talk about future Bond girl right here, James Bond? I mean, obviously they did a whole James Bond tribute when it came to last night. Man, this right here, future Bond girl, so good. There you go. I won't watch the whole thing, but that was really cool. I was like wondering, is she actually there? Because I didn't see her at first, but man, that was just sweet. So, make her be the next Bond girl, man. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Make sure you guys hit that like, thumbs up before you leave. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. So, love ya. Have a good rest of your night. Have a good Tuesday, and I'll see you guys back here on Wednesday. And like I said, if you're part of the Patreon, I do a little post-show thing. So I'll talk about, talk about some things and post that on Patreon tonight. And and again, thank you, of course, to JD McRae being an executive producer tonight and supporting the channel. You are awesome. And that's pretty much it, guys. All right, love ya. Talk to you later.